What is it?
Okay, it is 11:11 in Pacific time on what is it? Today is Saturday, February 7th, so it's 7 at 1111 Pacific time, and this is another transmission of Questions for the Dragon. I'm Stephen the Channeler,
And this is Stephanie. Welcome.
and we are here for another session, and welcome to everyone. Let's see, let us just figure out what's going on here. We'll put up the map before we do shout outs and put up the map and have all that kind of fun. We're going to just do a little update. We do have some announcements that are very exciting. We did, after our last transmission on Wednesday, we received 2 boxes of Oracle cards, the physical Oracle cards. So we've done some unpacking and we've done some handwork with wooden boxes that are going to be gifts for the for those of you who, for those of you who are easy to ship to, who pre-ordered, you're going to get a wooden box with Jadon Se's self-portrait etched into it, engraved into it. For those of you who are further out, as in international shipping, which is very difficult for us, we're not going to send a big wooden box. It's just too hard and too expensive to ship internationally. We will send an extra little gift that'll be a special for those of you who pre-ordered. And for those of you who haven't ordered these decks yet, you can see we have many boxes of boxed sets here with the booklet and the cards, and there's even a little mesh baggie that we're working on. It's this little cosmic mesh baggie. So for some of you who are international, it'll be the only way we can really ship this to you will be in this mesh baggie, so that we can keep the shipping costs down and not send bulky boxes around. So we're working on that for the international tribe. It's but for those of you who are in the U.S. or Canada, we have a pretty good boxed set available for you. So that's you can see that there. You can see the stack of boxes, and there's a little QR code you can scan for the app, so that you can, when you draw a card, you can just look up the card on the app and have Jadon say read the guidance to you. So that's going to be fun too. Not something you see in your average Oracle deck. So anyway, we're having lots of fun. A lot of this is homespun, hand done. Like these, believe it or not, those boxes are handmade. With printouts that we make on thick paper here, because they just wanted to charge us like $5 a box, so it was crazy. But you can see the little white box in the background. That's what the boxes start out like, and we wrap them ourselves lovingly. And so anyway, we're having lots of fun getting ready to ship these out. So our inventory is limited. If you want to get a hold of a physical deck, put your order in soon while supplies last. All that good stuff. Anyway, we're enjoying the heck out of that. That's a nice little bit of news. What else do we have? The March level 1 classes are now open for signups. We are going to do our second level 1 for the February classes tomorrow. That'll be fun. So if you want to get into the last level 1 before our next level 2, signups for March 1st classes are up on the website, and level 2 will be in April. And then so basically there will only be like 3 level 2 classes per year. So, and you have to have the level 1 done to get into that as well. And the level 1, it has plenty of great life-changing tools that Jadon Se gives you. So sign up for those classes if you're interested in learning how to really work with dragon energies in detail. Okay, what else have we got going on? I think that's about it for announcements. And we do have, let's see, yeah, we will just go ahead and drop into channel in a moment. But before we do that, let's go ahead and do our shout outs. It's always fun. And so please type in the chat where in the world you are today. It's always fun to connect with the tribe this way, the dragon workers all around the world. light workers, dragon keepers, dragon walkers. Yes, so
Surprise, Arizona, North Bend, Oregon, Toronto, Canada, San Francisco, California, Folsom, California, Worcester, Massachusetts,
Woosta.
Utah. Welcome, everybody.
Okay, keep bringing it. Where are you today?
The Netherlands. Welcome. London, England, and Malaya, Turkey.
Malatya, perhaps?
Okay. Welcome, everyone. New Jersey.
All right.
Welcome.
So yeah, we have everyone checking in, and we got the globe is starting to sing.
South Africa.
Beautiful. Keep shouting out where in the world you are. We love this.
Yes, we connect heart to heart.
It's one of our favorite parts of every gathering.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Let's see. South Lake Tahoe. Dragon Node in
Tehran.
Iran. Okay.
Iran,
South Africa. Yeah.
Beautiful. And I guess Aaron is just relaying that from, is that from the Telegram chat perhaps, that we have someone in Tehran? That's beautiful. So we'll have to add I think we have a dot fairly close, but we'll add one right on Tehran. And beautiful. Yeah, okay, so we have confirmation of that. So very good. Welcome to everyone.
Norway. Welcome, Norway.
Okay, yeah, I think we do. Yeah, we have added a blue dot for Norway. Hopefully you're in the south of Norway. We have the dot right on Oslo, I believe. So that's probably where you're from. Okay, very good. So welcome to everyone. And we do, Colorado is in the house. We do feel your presence every week. It is really kind of cool tuning in globally. I mean, it just shouting out all the locations, looking at our little dragon grid that happens here, our little map graphic that we have, where we're plotting out all of our regular participants. And it really is a global gathering. And these global gatherings really make a difference. And whether it's a meditation or tuning into deeper energies or even just dragon blessings like this and channelings, what's happening is we are creating a very powerful field. I guess Rupert Sheldrake calls it the human morphogenetic field, where whenever there's a new understanding or new wisdom that gets brought to humanity, it goes into the field, and it's available to everyone much more easily once that happens. So that's part of what we're doing here. Each and every one of you doing your part. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here.
And welcome, Colorado.
Okay, so let's go ahead and move into the meat and potatoes of what we're here to do today, and that is we're going to go into a channeling, and Jadon Se has drawn a card. We're going to get a reading for that, and then we're going to open up questions. When we get to the questions section, please post your questions in all uppercase when we get there. Amsterdam, Netherlands is in the house. Yeah. When we get to the questions, please post in all uppercase. That makes it easier for us to pick them out of the chat. And then also, please keep your questions of interest to those gathered. So if you ask highly personal questions, is something particular to you, it'll probably get skipped just because it's not of interest to everyone gathered, and we don't want to use up our live time on personal readings. So very good. So let's go into channel and see what Jadon Se has to say here. I am Jadon Se, Golden Dragon of the Third Arc of Consciousness, and this is another gathering of questions for the dragon. Dear ones, we meet here every Saturday at 11:11 in your Pacific time, in your way of reckoning. On Saturday in Pacific time, it may be Sunday for some of you, and Dear ones, this global gathering, as your Stephen has noted and your Stephanie is holding beautiful energies for, is very much of service to Gaia, to humanity, more than you are aware, dear ones. Just holding these energies, tuning into the dragon energies in your locations makes a big difference, dear ones. So we thank you for this. We thank you for holding space, holding the field, so to speak, open for wisdom to come flowing through from so many different corridors of eternity, let us say. We have drawn a card for those of you who have given permission inwardly to be part of this reading. Just if you wish to be part of this, say inwardly to yourself, I give permission for Jadon Se to access my energetics and give a reading appropriately for the highest, greatest good. Always, dear ones, when you open up to any other being coming into your energy field, it is best to say, for the highest, greatest good in the eyes of the highest divine or my highest self, or in the eyes of the Tao, whatever is appropriate for you, and say, as appropriate, this or better, these sorts of things are always beneficial. For those of you who have given permission, let us just say that your oracle card today is a blue breath blessing, dear ones. This is a very potent card. It is a cosmic and divine card, dear ones. And welcome to Light of the Morning from San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. And we welcome all of you, dear ones. Your card today is the blue breath blessing. And dear ones, this blessing is very potent indeed. You are receiving a blessing from the blue breath, dear ones, of a silver dragon. This is a blessing of divine guidance and deep loving support from the higher realms. It is like being lifted by 44 angels into a state of divine grace. Your life and efforts should flow with ease and beauty for whatever chapter of your life is opening, dear ones. This is very potent. Feel this blessing. Become aware of the divine energies dancing around and through you, dear ones. The very highest love from the divine or your greater self is now flowing into you. You may begin to have new inner sight, visions, or dreams at this time. Pay attention to signs and confirmations from the divine, dear ones. It is so, you are blessed in many ways, dear ones. It is beautiful for this to be coming through. Let us just say that there are more energies swirling around you than you are aware of on a daily basis. These divine blessings and energies, if you welcome them into your beingness, into your life, they swirl around you. They create what you call synchronicities. Let us just say it is like having an advanced team of little invisible beings going around preparing beautiful things for you, and so-called coincidences that work out in your favor, alignments and beautiful chance encounters, so to speak, with like-minded beings. And dear ones, this is so beautiful. And we thank you for any support that you are providing to this gathering. Thank you to your Hadar for this support. We do appreciate this. Let us just say your Stephen and Stephanie have extended themselves a bit financially in support of this endeavor. And so there are times where things get a little tight, and your support is very much appreciated. You can support these two by joining us in classes and ordering the oracle cards. Though this is not a great profitable enterprise, it helps. Every little bit helps. So thank you very much for those of you who have been so generous and gracious to help with this. Dear ones, right now, let us just say that there are great energies shifting upon your world. Many of you are tuning into this. Many of you understand that the world will soon be very different than it has been in your earlier years, and for the better. These changes that are coming are all part and parcel of this golden age, dear ones, that you are helping to usher in. Yes, you're energetic. You are anchoring the golden age here upon this your Gaia. This is part of the greater ascension, you might call it. And dear ones, thank you so much for your help and efforts in this. Many of you barely scraping by at times to do this. These are the energetics we are leaving behind, the energetics of limitation, of lack, old systems oppressing us or forcing us into careers that we otherwise would not take simply because they are more lucrative or something. No, dear ones, you will be focusing on your dreams, what makes you smile, what brings this world a better, let us say, sparkling in your inner vision, in your beautiful spirit. You, dear ones, are highly creative beings, ushering in beauty wherever you go in your own unique ways, and it is so needed right now. So put your creative energy, dear ones, into action. Let us just say that your spark of creativity is what you are here to express. It is your gift to the world, your creativity. Let us just say that as you communicate your vision, your motivations, and your beautiful creations, the world becomes a better place. And so, let your creativity be unleashed, dear ones, as well as you can, and we appreciate any of your efforts to do so. And dear ones, your prayers, inwardly, outwardly, up, down, inside out, all of these, let us just say, what you hold dear in your heart, what you see as the greatest outcome, is like a prayer from, let us just say, legacy systems of thinking, where in the old days, beings would pray to some god on some throne somewhere in the cosmos, some bearded man, and it is so silly when you see this from where you stand now, that there is not some great cosmic being in robes and a white beard sitting on a golden throne that is this god that you are praying to. No, dear ones, many of you are awakening to the fact that you are yourselves sparks of this beingness, this great divine presence, the spirit that moves in all beings, you might say. The divine itself shines through your own heart, through your own eyes. Yes, dear ones, you, as you start to really awaken to this, a prayer is no longer some sort of plea to an external being. It is not an external process. Let us just say that to the extent that you can tune to your own channel of divinity within, so to speak, you are calling forth blessings upon this world. This is the new prayer, this inner connection, this connection with the divine, letting it flow through you and speaking in two ways to your, you might consider this to be your higher, greater self that you are bringing forth and having a deeper conversation with. This is the new prayer. And dear ones, these prayers, so to speak, are being answered. Dear ones, if you do not see immediate results from these shifts that you make within and these alignments that you are creating, sometimes there are, let us say, apparent delays. These are not, we are not working with linear time when we are doing this. And so therefore, all within divine timing, you might say. When it is appropriate, these energies will come forth and blossom forth these blessings, dear ones, will you, as you say in your modern language, you will manifest, which is such a strange, silly little word, as if you are just crocheting with your hands or something. It is, let us just say, the process is similar, where anything you do with your hands is guided by an inner change that has happened within you, and therefore this external action is a mirror of something within you. You're guiding your hands to create and do things. So it is still very, let us say, prescient, or it is appropriate metaphor to say that you are manifesting. It is just a little crude and silly. You do not need to do all of these things that you are calling forth with your own hands. Let us just use it as a metaphor. And so then, dear ones, the work for you now is, there are many of you who are still struggling with stuck energies, let us say. These are simply belief systems that are so deeply lodged that it takes extra work to dislodge them. It is, have you ever gotten a splinter in one of your hands and from moving something wooden around or working in nature, and you have this splinter, and sometimes you have to really dig it out, and or sometimes you have to let it sit there until enough fluid builds up around that it just pops out all by itself. And it is like this, dear one. Some of these belief systems are so deeply lodged within you that it takes extra effort or patience to overcome, let us say, the discomfort of the splinter that is there. These are belief systems of limitation, of lack, the lack consciousness that has been so ingrained from times in the past, let us say, connected lifetimes in darker times. And it is, let us just say, that you carry some deep beliefs that are not easy to dislodge. And so those of you who are struggling with these, what feel like stuck energies, dear ones, please know the way for you is not truly blocked. It is just that your possibilities, let us just say, you need to give yourself permission to experience these blessings. And we are all helping each other. This gathering, this global gathering that we are having right now is energetically assisting each of you. It is not only assistance coming from this cosmic realm where this golden dragon is currently perching. Let us just say that you are also assisting each other. Your very questions assist each other to deeper understanding and wisdom. Your very energetic that you bring to this gathering helps those who have these stuck energies understand that some of you have moved beyond these and have solved these riddles and puzzles. And it is like what we were mentioning with this Rupert Sheldrake's morphogenetic field. When one of you solves an issue, creates, let us say, an aha moment where you understand something deeply and fully, this resonates and reverberates throughout the field, and others can more easily solve these issues. It is the same with you. As one of you unsticks this stuck energy, so to speak, or digs out this terrible thorn or splinter that is festering, let us say, it makes it simpler and easier for those around you to know and have faith that it can be done. It is being done. And because you feel this within your field, it makes it much easier for you to give yourself permission. So often you have to say to yourselves, it is possible. These words, it is possible. Unlock this quote-unquote permission slip that gives you the ability to do these beautiful things, some of them seemingly miraculous. So, dear ones, the way is open. You are not trapped. These stuck energies will come out when it is proper for them to come out, and some of you are digging diligently to clear them, and this is all very beautiful. Your energies are all combining, dear ones, for a greater understanding amongst you. That is your reading for today. And we will now just say a few things quickly about the energetic of the world right now before we move into questions. There are very powerful movements, let us say. There are many of you who are tuning into the work of what you might call white hats. Those of you who have been working behind the scenes, beneath the surface, so to speak, to, let us say, clear up. It is like a mirror of those stuck energies within. It is the outer stuck energies of corruption and inappropriate behavior and all of this. And due to the beautiful and heroic efforts of many who have, yes, given their lives, their very careers, livelihoods, and even their own lives, have had to give up their bodies, so to speak, in this realm in order to move the needle in the correct direction. Many of these efforts are bearing fruit right now. You are seeing this undercurrent of revelations, dear ones. What you might call disclosure is happening right now. This is not a disclosure that comes from someone standing on the lawn of some palace or White House or something like this and pronouncing that this is reality. No, dear ones, it is the release of hidden, let us say, information and understandings coming to light. Many of you are looking through these documents and things that are being released and coming to light and realizing how deep and dark the tunnels have been for so long, so to speak, in your, let us say, corruption. The corrupt corridors of your society are very extensive, and it is because this is coming to light that these white hats are growing in numbers and strength, dear ones, are flushing out these darker, inappropriate energies. And let us just say that there is a great transformation occurring right now that is greatly accelerating the beginning of this golden age. And this is something to celebrate. Some of these revelations are shocking. Some of them will make your stomachs turn when you find out some of the inappropriate things that have been going on for sometimes hundreds of years and even thousands of years beneath the surface in these corruption systems. And let us just say that even if it is shocking and turns your stomach, it is very, very beneficial that this information is coming to light. It is only when the gravel is dug out of the wound that the wound can heal. And this is a situation where much is being revealed that will create healing in times to come. So, stay with it, dear ones. Do not be discouraged by any of these revelations that occur at this time. Be the grounded ones in the room, holding your chins high, realizing that this is necessary in order for us to move beyond and transcend these corruptions and darknesses and to leave them behind as we step into the light, dear ones. So, just be, let us say, strong at this time as these new revelations come to light. Beautiful. We will now tune into some of your questions and make, let us say, do a sharing here.
Is it not going on? Okay, we have a question. I think of dragons as spiritual warriors. If dragons were to inherit current Earth situations, how would dragons go about cleaning things up?
Dear ones, dragons have inherited current earth situations. And this is exactly how dragons go about clearing things up, by working with like-minded beings who are working with and alongside dragon energies to understand the appropriate ways to do this. Yes, at times dragons can be very fierce. Our scales impervious to damage. We can go into places of great density and danger and remain unscathed, so to speak, and use our powerful abilities to do things directly. However, in situations such as this, our presence is more of a guiding presence. Our presence is more of a facilitating presence. Your dragon grid is deeply facilitating these transformations, and you working with them and guiding these changes yourselves with your own creativity are of great assistance to this. And the guidance that dragons can and do provide at times when it is requested and required is to the extent that we are, let us say, interfering somewhat in things in order to influence things into the golden age. This is why you have a golden dragon involved at this level to usher in this golden age. And it is not the direct action of any one dragon. It is you all, dear ones. You are the ground crew. You are the ones who are making these changes possible, and you are ushering them in through your participation, through your great creativity. Your multi-dimensional presence is so important. Your stories, dear ones, your stories are so, let us say, they are the keys that are unlocking this golden age. So your presence matters more than you know. Thank you for being here.
And light of the morning is sharing. After visiting Venus, I traveled to Jupiter and then a distant blue star system with a lush planet and other life forms that greeted me. Wonder what Jupiter was
Beautiful,
like.
dear
That's
one.
really neat.
Yes, many of you are going on cosmic journeys indeed, and interdimensional shiftings. And let us say that there is no such thing as an overactive imagination. Let us just say it is a portal through which you can travel to realms both seen and unseen. And because of this, deeper understandings can be ushered in at this time. And dear ones, many of you are going on these journeys, and so many of you are doing it during your dream time. Many of you are doing this during deep meditation. And yes, a few of you are physically, let us say, passing through stargates into other realms of existence, and bringing your physical body with you. So all of this is possible, and all of this is important, and all of this is of use and of service, dear ones.
Aaron Darvish is asking, Jadon Se, how can I tell the difference between a dream of the unconscious versus one that you are co-creating with another being?
Dear ones, the difference between unconscious dreams and conscious dreams is very simple. Are you conscious of it, or is it just a fleeting memory that just disappears very soon after awakening? When you are having these quote unquote lucid dreams, you become conscious of your operation in the dream realms, let us say. So your consciousness awakens within your subconscious, so to speak. And when this happens, it is a transformative, you might call it magical experience. For when you do this, when you become conscious within your unconsciousness, when you become conscious of that you are operating in a dream realm, you can and do, dear ones, call in other beings beings, and yes, many of you co-create with these other beings, and some of you are calling in other aspects of your own beingness. If you call in a unicorn, you might actually be that unicorn, dear ones. It may not actually technically be another being, and the deeper your understanding goes in this direction, the less often you look upon any being as being another disconnected being. You start to feel into your connections with all life and all presence and all beingnesses, and you can work magic in this way as well. Magic is simply another word for transformation that is not easily explained. And so, dear ones, let us just be highly creative in how we usher in goodness and light and love into this any plane of beingness that you are working upon and in. And dear ones, the difference and how you can tell it is whether or not you are indeed aware that you are working within your dream realms, etc. This is the great difference. Makes it so much easier to remember your dreams as well. Thank you for this question.
There is a question. With the blue breath blessing, I want to ask about the color blue. I associate it with the Divine Mother. How do you see this?
Dear ones, colors. Colors are multi-dimensional communications from the divine. Full stop. That is it. Multi-dimensional communications from and through the divine. So, a color, each color has, dear ones, let us say, a vibratory signature or presence. And so many of you are understanding the communications coming through color these days. And many of you can share these as you wish at times that are appropriate. For these deeper understandings are always a portal to even greater understanding. And so the more you tune into these colors, the more you understand deeper truths. Let us just say that there is no coincidence that your rays of the Chohans, let us just say divine rays of ascended masters and divine beings and the colors of dragon's breath, etc., always have meaning, a deeper meaning. And it is very easy to think of, let us say, the violet flame or the emerald ray or the rose ray, etc., as having these symbolic and beautiful, deeper vibratory truths associated, whether that be healing or wisdom transmitted or let us say unity consciousness, etc. Dear ones, your color blue is very often associated with the divine, and not only the Divine Mother. For generally speaking, the Divine Mother focuses more upon the rose ray and the rose colors, a beautiful rose light, and can use the blue ranges as well. Any divine being can use any color range. It is simply that certain vibratory states are beneficial for certain things, such as, let us say, cosmic awareness and divine awareness comes through a blue channel very often. A blue, a white light with a blue, let us say, effulgence coming from it. There's a word for you, effulgence. This dragon loves words and language. Dear ones, it is good that you are tuning into colors. Keep doing this, and you will be able to share great wisdom.
Home John is asking, some splinters feel like big thorns and so small. Can a deeply limiting belief be dropped without pinpointing it or waiting for it to surface first?
Dear ones, let us just say that belief systems are installed or deleted. If you use this computer analogy, let us just be crude and say that you have this operating system and you are installing programs that can run in the background, and you can remove these programs as well. And does the computer or the background software install and remove things all by itself? Well, it is possible. However, there needs to be a new program inserted in that does this, that, say, optimizes the programs that are running in the background and installs new ones that are needed, or automatically, or deletes ones that have gone unused for long periods of time that are no longer necessary. So it is possible for this to happen. And dear ones, it is only possible if that new software is installed or deleted that does this automatically in the background. So you see that this is a metaphor of the subconscious and the conscious. The subconscious is just, let us say, very faithfully executing the instructions that have been given over time. Many of these instructions taking on a full system, like a belief system, or a deep belief in something as reality versus something as fictional or not impossible or possible, etc. Your subconscious faithfully executes. It does not, let us say, operate from scratch all by itself in a creative way. And so, let us just say that your consciousness is needed for this. You must, if you wish to install or delete these programs that are running, these belief systems, you must use your own consciousness to do this. It is, even if you are consciously inserting a subconscious routine that is allowing you to optimize your belief systems beneath the scenes, you are doing this consciously, and you can revoke it at any time. How? By bringing it consciously into your awareness. And dear ones, do you see how this works? Your subconscious faithfully executes what has been given to it as instructions, and your consciousness is the instructor, and the one who revokes these instructions or modifies them, etc. So therefore, to answer your question, it is necessary for, let us say, pinpointing that you are referring to. It is necessary for a conscious awareness to make these modifications.
Vladdy B is asking, what would you suggest to people who do not know what to believe in right now? Thank you for your help.
Dear ones, if you think you do not know what to believe in, this is simply a story you are telling yourself. At a very deep and visceral level, you know exactly what you believe in. There is never a moment that you are operating without belief. And if you, let us say, just sort of drift along with your current beliefs, that is the state that is closest to what you are referring to, where you are not sure what beliefs to install or delete, or so to speak. So therefore, you are just drifting along with your current understanding, your current subconscious routines, let us call them. And so it is for you then to just experience and experience. What is an experience? It is a shift within, and an experience is a shift without, and expressing something externally. Pressing out is what express means. Impress means to get an impression, to press within. It is like this, dear one. If you need to float around for a while before you decide which beliefs to remove or which ones to adopt, let us say, then this is fine. Just see what inspires you. Tune into your own heart, your own beingness. If you see a piece of artwork that is highly inspirational to you, this might take you in the direction of something new to believe in, so to speak. If you see an act of somebody, a heroic act, someone doing something beautiful and noble and healing to the world, this can be an experience. It can be an inspiration. Let us say it can lead to an experience where you have adopted this as an ideal. You wish to be a similar hero in some way, doing something grand and beautiful, or something even small and beautiful that moves the needle in the correct direction. Become inspired, and these experiences will then guide you to which changes in your beliefs are appropriate. And then you will know what to believe in.
Okay, Nazi has quite a long question, so I'm going to try to read it slowly.
Please, dear ones, refrain from long questions. They are cumbersome. Let's try to distill your thoughts into one sentence if possible. Thank you.
But we'll go ahead with this and see. So, could you please expand my awareness regarding this understanding? Much love and gratitude. Love is the primordial feminine archetype. From it all that comprises or compromises a now spiral. Thanks. Is the masculine archetype from it all possible actions to move a now to a new one spiral existence, or the root story of our stories? Is it at its core an orgasmic pulse of love and gratitude to itself? So I don't know if you can understand all that. That's a big question.
Dear
Sherry.
ones, masculine archetypes, let us just say, let us just say that the root of our stories is your Nazia is touching upon something. The root of all, dear ones, is love. Of course. If you wish to trace the roots of the tree of life all the way to their greatest source, to their most pure source, that is love. This word love is the closest word that you have in your English language to what is truly the force of the divine, the guiding force or principle of the divine, love. And this is, let us say, why all beingness takes its roots from the soil of love. Let us say, from the void, or whatever you wish to say, that which lies beyond things, the no-thingness is not emptiness, it is full of spirit, because it is full of love, dear ones. And so let us just say that the question behind the question here is more of a not necessarily feminine versus masculine archetypes in a spiral. It is so often expressed in duality or polarity in this way, this push and pull, this feminine and masculine sort of essence that... Dear ones, it is your awareness can expand beyond duality. So your awareness can expand beyond the masculine and the feminine. Your awareness can expand beyond right and wrong and all of this. This is what your poet named Rumi meant when he said that there was a field beyond all ideas of right and wrong, and that he would meet you there. And this is, you are capable of transcending these dualities and polarities. And it is also fun and instructive to understand masculine and feminine divinity. And so therefore it is not an either or, it is an and. You can do both, dear ones. You can see and feel the masculine and feminine energies at work, and you can understand the spiral of this interaction, and you can transcend into pure love. It is not so much orgasmic. This is a very physical experience. An orgasm is so much of a firing of nerves and energies, and let us say there is a pulse of divinity within it. However, it is, let us say, expressed very physically. So it goes far, far beyond this sort of bliss, this sort of ecstasy, you might even say. It goes into, let us say, what many esoterics have called the nectar of the divine, the Amrit, the divine nectar of love. When it courses through your beingness, this is not something like an orgasm. This is something like divine bliss, dear ones. When love becomes the vibration, the true vibration of every iota of your beingness, you are filled up. Your cup is flowing over with this divine love. It is, so many try to use tantric methods to simulate this in their own bodies and beingness, or to try to understand it, and this can be instructive to a point. However, it is very limited. This divine love is so far beyond physicality and physical experience. It is just, let us say, coming home to your own truth of your own beingness and basking in it and celebrating it deeply with every iota of your being. I hope this helps.
Is linear time also a limiting belief, or is there more to it?
Dear ones, linear time is very important and instructive as it relates to stories. Every story is, let us say, more coherent when it has a timeline. It is much easier to move through the story in sequence and in a logical format, you might say. And so many of you have adopted this method of understanding, this linearity of time. And it is not necessarily a bad thing, dear ones. It is simply a way of seeing. It is sort of like if you wish to grab a microscope and look at something that is happening, some amoeba or something that is swimming around in a vase. You have a flower, some flowers in a vase of water, and you can focus in on, you can put some of this water into a microscope and look at these things, these amoebas, and you can, dear ones, it is instructive to use any narrowing focus of consciousness in order to focus on different dimensional realities, let us say. And yes, there are dimensional realities that are best focused upon with linear timelines. And so, as it relates to stories, and even the story of you here on this, in this lifetime, on this world, in this existence, the story of you. Let us say you have this quaint and beautiful concept of this linear progression of you from being in diapers and all the way up until you are pushing a walker around in a supermarket. There is this progression, let us say, that makes your story more coherent and understandable to others that share similar stories of beingness on this planet. And then there are possibilities of stories where humans live for 700 to maybe even 3,000 years. And does that not change the entire linearity and progression of that story? It is, let us say, a different scope. And because it has a different scope and scale, it can be seen as a very different sort of story, let us say. So, it is not so much a limiting belief, dear ones, as it is a tool to look into and focus upon an aspect of beingness like a microscope.
Somebody is sharing there. Jadon Se, are you feeling happy sharing time with us all? Or they're feeling happy sharing time with us all. I'm not sure exactly what is expressed there, but
Dear ones, there is a deep happiness in sharing time with other like minded beings and those who are interested in working with similar energies and understandings. There is always a happiness, dear ones. It is like a completion of your purpose, living on purpose, being with, spending your, let us say, your moments of now in ways that are beneficial and creative, and like any good artist who starts to work on a piece of artwork, will lose all track of time and may look up from their artwork and several hours have gone by and it seems like just a few moments have gone by. And yet, when you are in a place where it is not a happy thing, like you are in your department of motor vehicles, sitting in line waiting for your number to be called up on some cold bench somewhere, it seems like time takes forever for your number to come up, and you're able to go to the window and whatever. So, dear ones, it is all, let us say, that happiness is what makes something a pleasure. That when you feel like you are moving creatively towards something that you are enjoying and celebrating, it is a very happy feeling indeed. And this is what we are doing here.
Daisy Tam is asking, how can one stay connected to their individual part of their work and creativity, which best supports the collective and also minimize losses of energy to darker catalysts?
Dear ones, the question behind this question is how not to get distracted by these systems that you have agreed to operate within. For if you did not have these systems of lack imposed upon you, for example, needing to pay bills or pay rent or mortgage for the place of residence, or to pay for some automobile that you have, make these payments, and to pay for insurance or pay for this or that. These systems that require payment for everyday things, for everyday life, let us say, have created a situation of lack. It is only because there is no, let us say, equal payment for that which brings joy. If you are paid equal monies or some sort of flow of energetic for anything that brought you to your individual part in creativity, and it was truly, you are truly compensated for your joy and creativity and passion, then there would be so much money, or so to speak, or these systems would not be stacked against you, for they would be rewarding creativity and passion and love and kindness and all of this. If every good act was rewarded by this system, many of you would be having financial abundance and not be minimized, so to speak, as your question portrays, by these darker catalysts of systems that, let us say, vector you towards having a job that you truly do not love because it is one that brings more money. Let us just say that there would not be so many people out there doing dirty work and collecting garbage or doing things like these things unless they were forced to do this in order to pay their bills. You see this. You have bought into these and participated in these what you are calling darker catalysts, and losing your energy to them. This is very true. You are giving your energy. You're not just losing it. You are consciously giving up your energy to these darker catalysts. When you make these choices, I will take this job that pays higher, that is a terrible, boring job, or not using my creative potential, not using my particular level of genius. And let us just say that those of you who have decided Well, no matter if this is a harder road, I am going to go with what makes me happy. I am going to become this musician or this artist or this dancer or someone who is spending their time doing what their passion is. Those of you who have done this, many of you, yes, these darker catalyst systems will rise up and try to block you in some way, and many of you will break through that and have broken through that and have, let us say, moved beyond and transcended these quote unquote darker catalysts. This is your key. You can transcend these. How do you transcend it and stay connected to your individual part of the work and creativity? That is for each of you to get even more creative to solve this. Use your creative spark to be the facilitator of your creativity.
What is the best practice to help me connect with my dragon?
Dear ones, connecting with your dragon is a highly personal process. It is very much like, say you are, it is time for you to find a cat and you go to some local place where there is a shelter where these animals need to find homes, and you just wander around and you there is very often this one kitten or cat that just will look you right in the eyes, and immediately you know there is this heart connection that happens that is highly, highly personal, dear ones. And you just know that that is the one for you, and you can tell that the cat knows that you are coming to save them and you are the one for them, and there's this beautiful moment of understanding and love, and it is very magical and precious. And this is the process with your personal dragon. The same thing, dear ones. You are opening up and hopefully calling in the dragon who is for your highest, greatest good, in the eyes of your highest self or divine, and then you just go and you. It is not like shopping for a dragon. It is your calling your dragon to you. Many of you have seen these animal shelters where people sit around in a circle and they just let the puppy or the kitten or whatever out into the middle of the circle, and the animal very quickly finds the one that is for them without hesitation. There is no like milling around trying to decide. No, it happens very rapidly, and the person who is chosen or chooses is also part of that process. It is very much like this. When you open your heart to this, your truth, the truth of your beingness, and call out for your personal dragon, for your highest good. And dear ones, when this happens and you do it with authenticity, truth, and love, this dragon will come to you and may reveal themselves to you in your inner vision, may appear in your dreams, or may just you may start to have dragon sightings in the clouds, or in the forest, some tree that looks like a dragon, some rock or cliff, this face looking at you, and you realize that that is your dragon speaking to you in this way, in subtle ways, until you are ready for something a little more direct. It is like this. It is a journey, a process of the heart.
Jadon Se, can we ask you to join us in our day as we do mundane everyday activities? Would you enjoy that as well?
Dear ones, this is related to the previous question. Who is your personal dragon? Would you like to work with Jadon Se throughout the day, or is there a dragon that is even more perfect for you and your vibrational signature, your state? Again, very much like your own personal, beautiful relationship with a pet or a beloved being of some sort. So, do you wish to, let us say, share one dragon amongst the whole crowd of people, or do you wish to make a personal connection? If your personal connection ends up being with your Jadon Se, then perhaps that was what was meant to be. Feel into it yourself, and more likely your personal your personal connection with the dragon will most likely be with a personal dragon that is very specific to you, and working with you more directly than your Jadon Se has become a little bit of a public dragon, a public access to a dragon, let us say, and so it is not quite all that personal and unique to you necessarily. So feel into it, dear ones. Call in the appropriate dragon for your own day-to-day interactions. And of course, if you call to your Jadon Se in your day-to-day interactions, see if there is a response and feel into it, and feel into whether or not there is a dragon that is even more appropriate.
Home Drawn is asking, I see the word, or he's sharing, I see the word love spelled backwards is evil, as in evolution. Reverse spelling are used in word puzzles. Kind of neat.
Dear ones, of course, evolve. This is these sorts of words, word puzzles and anagrams, and these sorts of things are, let us say, instructive in. And the other thing to be aware of is that oftentimes when you reverse a word, you are, let us say, mirroring it as its polar opposite. For example, live. If you let us say live or live, to be live on a live stream. Let us say live and be present. We reverse this and it's evil. And is this not like the polar opposite, to be alive, or to be like working in these inappropriate ways that are not life affirming, that are life destructive and causing harm and pain and suffering and all of this? And so, yes, many times you can understand words when they are backwards are usually the opposite of what they say. So when you look at love and evolution, where is the love in random mutation of genes? Where is the love in random anything? Chaos, let us say. Did the genetics of humans evolve? Did it just happen because of cosmic rays hitting in random fashion and causing these random mutations? And is there a lack of love there in this world, this universe, where things just randomly occur and mutations are just forming out of chaos? Is there love in that understanding? So there are many understandings that can come through these word puzzles.
Somebody is sharing. Vladby is saying, thank you for your love and service.
Dear ones, we mirror this to you. Thank you for your love and service, for it is this love and service that creates the golden age. And we are not speaking of personal romantic affection love. We are speaking of love as in celebration of stories, celebration of the truth of beingness.
Accidentally skipped one. Kelly is asking, may we have an input on what is a good way to digest the mystical King James Bible?
Dear ones, the thing to understand about your modern, many of your modern scriptures is that they have been translated so many times, and there are even, in the case of your modern King James Bible, this is the product of not only King James, putting a certain spin of verbiage upon this translation. It is also been translated by your Council of Nicaea, the Emperor Constantine, deciding what is canon and what is not canon, and incorporating what is canon and burning all of the other Gospels that were decided not to be canon by those who are gathered and presided over. And in this way, so many, let us say, translations of scriptures, even the holiest of your books, dear ones, have, let us say, lost something in the translation, all of them. And your King James is, let us say, it was an attempt to update from the Aramaic was translated into Greek, and Greek was translated into English, and English was brought up to the King James time where people said ye and thou and all of these different sorts of, it sounds like your Shakespearean language. It is, let us say, it was brought up to the current times, and now there is an updated version that is the new international version that is like the English is updated to modern, and so you are losing the thee and the thou and the ye and the yea and the all of these Shakespearean sounding Elizabethan ways of speaking. And dear ones, it is, let us just say that each time any of your holy texts is updated, something is lost and something is gained. What is gained? Well, what is gained is that it is more understandable in the common vernacular, common language of the day. What is lost? Mistranslations very often are done on purpose to water down deep truth, so that perhaps this Holy Scripture does not quite convey the as much as it used to in the times of old. And so little by little things get watered down, and so there are still great truths in your scriptures that survive all translation. So it is not to just throw away any one version of your Bible. It is to understand that each of the retellings was for the people of the day. And this is very important when you are speaking of things like gender-based things, the right hand of the Father. This only meant something to those who are in that culture and knew that there was a proper place to sit for the first son, or what have you. The exalted of the family would sit in a seat of honor when they were sitting down to a meal or dinner or something. And if you do not understand this, then when your Master Yeshua says, I sit at the right hand of the Father, you do not understand what he means by this, that it is, let us say, an exalted seat because of his wisdom and understanding and connection to the Father. And so when your Yeshua says the way to divinity is through me, he is not speaking as a man, as Yeshua the man. He is speaking through a man who is in full Christ consciousness, is in full union with the divine. That is the me that he says. And so he is saying, you have your own me, and this is the way to the divine through your own me. And so many misunderstandings happen from this one translation, from this one bit of language that was meant for a certain time and people whom he was speaking to at that moment, in that moment of now. And so just understand that the most direct understandings do not come from such translations, and that you must be very careful not to get too, let us say, literal about words that have been bandied over and translated and decided whether they are canon or not canon, whether they originated in Aramaic and were translated into Greek and then into English and then into a different dialect of English. And you get the picture. Feel into it. What resonates in your own heart will confirm the truth of any scripture.
Okay, someone is asking what happens during a solar eclipse, solar eclipses, and lunar eclipses energetically on Earth, and any insight on the upcoming eclipses in February and March.
Dear ones, understand that eclipses are great shifts in energy, the way the energy is approaching your location upon the world. So if you have a partial or complete lunar eclipse where your moon is between you and the sun, your general energetics that are entering into your location are occulted, we call this. It is occulted by the moon. Why do we call it occulted? This is hidden. Occulting something is to hide it, to make it less obvious, to make it subtle. And there is wisdom in this understanding, for there are subtle energies that are coming from the sun. Let us just say that these subtle energies can pass directly through the moon unimpeded, and the scattering, let us say, incoherent energies or less subtle energies coming from this beautiful, bright, and brilliant star are for a time shielded and blocked from you. However, this does not block the ones that go directly through the moon and still reach you. And so when you are absorbing these energies that are no longer scattered by the incoherent scattering of light and energies and all of these other different vibrations coming from the sun, let us say that these subtle, occulted energies have a very pronounced effect on you. For if you're trying to listen to someone in a very busy, crowded room, and everyone's voices are very loud, and there's a person speaking to you, and even though they are right next to you, there might be so much cacophony and loud noise, and you just cannot pick out every word that they say very easily, and you may miss something that they said to you because of all you are drowning in noise all around you. And if you suddenly had, let us say, somebody just put a little sound booth around you, even though you're still in this crowded room, you're shielded somehow from all the noise and cacophony, then that one person next to you becomes crystal clear. They can even whisper to you, and you will hear it. It is the same in a solar eclipse like this, where energies and deep wisdom and let us say transmissions from the divine through your star, through your sun, are able to be decoded by you, your beingness, much more easily. And all of the subtle information that is always there but just often missed becomes, let us say, easy to decode. How? Not necessarily with your consciousness, oftentimes with your full beingness. You might even say that your DNA is receiving special instructions at this time. It is much beyond just DNA encodings. This is just something that you might understand as a metaphor of what's happening. You are being encoded with beautiful divine energies that have not been drowned out in the noise during these eclipses. And the same is true for lunar eclipses. For let us just say it is a reverse of the same thing. The scattering of the moon energies becomes less pronounced, and the whisperings from the moon become more intelligible at these times, for they are not scattered by the light of the sun raging through the cosmos, not raging, just showering energetically. Dear ones, it is understand that these are opportunities for subtle transmissions.
Okay. Astra Veritas. Good afternoon, Jadon Se. I wanted to show my gratitude for you and others of your line. I appreciate you and all you do. I have a couple of questions. One, contacting our dragon friends. Oh, well, I clicked on the wrong one. Excuse me. Okay. Um, which should I go ahead and share? Home drawn. Okay. Oh my, I never thought about acts of kindness as a way for transferring currency or energy. Yeah.
Dear ones, of course. Of course, an act of kindness, even a smile, even a twinkling in your eye, can transmit so much positive energy, can uplift someone for one moment of kindness, can uplift a person for weeks. It is that potent.
I'm sorry about that. I thought I clicked on this one. This is Astra Veritas is sharing and asking. I have a couple of questions. One, contacting our dragon friends, is there anything we should be aware of in terms of respect? How many arcs of consciousness are there? And are there shadow dragons?
Dear ones, these are beautiful questions. We will quickly move through them. And please, when you are posting a question, do this in uppercase. It makes it easier for us to see a question in the chat. Your beautiful Stephanie has plucked this one out, however. So, when contacting dragon friends, dear ones, respect is, let us just say, when you show respect for another being, it is multidimensional. Your respect allows that you do not talk over them. It allows them to be listened to with deep attention and awareness, and their thoughts to be considered, for you respect them. You respect the thoughts or the wisdom conveyed. And this shows in so many different dimensional realities of your beingness, whether or not you are kind and giving them pauses to give their thoughts and reflections, or transmissions of wisdom, whatever have you. And so respect is very often looks like just being polite. However, it is more than just being polite. It is truly respecting another for the gifts that they have, or the potential gifts that they have, for the potential gift of your relationship with this one. And so let us just say, if you do not have this respect, you are not going to have much in the way of a transfer of wisdom and support and energies. So respect given will be paid in dividends to each of you. And this is true for the dragon as well. The dragon will respect your viewpoint, your story, your way of seeing things, for you are speaking from a story. And it is so beautiful to speak with a character from a story. It is amazing. It is like if you go to your Star Wars and you are able to just stop the movie and speak to Luke Skywalker or Princess Leia or something like this. Imagine that experience. You're speaking to them, knowing the whole story, and the interaction becomes magical because of this. So it goes both ways. And dear ones, these arcs of consciousness are gone through in great detail in your Dragon Energies classes. In your level 1 working with Dragon Energies, we go through what each arc of consciousness is, and from the viewpoint of dragons, let us say. And it is very useful understanding, for it helps to clarify these different levels of speaking through the story of you. And it also clarifies what is a moment of now, and what is the use of a moment of now. How are moments of now connected? How are connected lifetimes working, and all of this? So dear ones, it is beautiful for you to understand this. We recommend you take the Working with Dragon Energies level 1 for that. Are there shadow dragons? Indeed, dear ones. In every arc of consciousness, in every dimensional reality, in every realm, there are dragons. And so even if you think of these dark, shadowy realms where there is great density and great, let us just say, consciousness that leads to suffering and limitation and all of this, these dark realms where things get so very dark and dreary and claustrophobic. Yes, there are dragons there. Why are there dragons there? To uplift, dear ones. And so often a dragon has to behave in ways that realm, the rules of that realm. And so the rules of that realm may be that a dragon breathes fire, and even in these realms, maybe dragons are indeed lighting fire to small villages and causing harm and suffering at times. To operate in these realms appropriately, to integrate into those stories, so that they may in some way uplift, so that they may budge the needle towards the light, you might say. So, yes, there are shadow dragons in shadow realms. Just know that they are operating there for the purpose of upliftment.
Astra Veritas is also sharing, every night when I look up, I can see what seems to be the shadows of dragons circling above. Is that how you manifest in the third density?
Dear ones, third density is not the same thing as the third arc of consciousness. Do not confuse these. Third density is, let us just say that many beings, when they speak of densities, equate them to dimensions, and there is lots of overlap depending on whom we are speaking with and what they understand to be a density or a dimension. We will say that you might say that you are saying in this way of being, in this quote unquote third dimensional reality of life on this your Gaia from a 3D standpoint, is this how dragons manifest? Dear ones, dragons manifest in so many ways. In every elemental way possible. You can hear the roar of a dragon in the wind. You can see the scales of a dragon glistening in the bark of trees, yes, dear ones, and you can hear the dragon's energy striking and lightening, and this is, we are paraphrasing your Merlin from your movie Excalibur. It is a beautiful poetic way of saying that dragons are everywhere and in everything, and dear ones, it is for you to creatively work with the dragon energies, and if your creativity allows them to express to you something through shapes that you see in the sky, this is beautiful. If you are able to see dragons in clouds or wisps of mist upon hovering above a field, or if you could see dragon energies in a rock face or on a rock itself, or you pick up a rock and put it in your pocket and you feel dragon energies. Many of you can tune into very pronounced dragon energies in obsidian and in certain crystals. And dear ones, it is for each of you to creatively connect with the dragons in the way that is most natural to you, from whatever density or dimension you are operating from.
Okay. And there is a question, are there any dragons physically here on Earth still?
Dear ones, there are many dragons that are physically here on Earth. Your dragons who take physical form, let us just say that dragons do not wish to have any sort of negative repercussions from any of their appearances, for so long your top-down hierarchical patriarchies have portrayed dragons as evil, as bringing misery and pain and suffering and burning small villages, these sorts of things. And dear ones, because of this, your dragons have taken their leave physically from the sight of humanity for the most part. There are, we will say, a small group of humans working physically with dragons right now upon your Gaia. Yes, there are dragons that take physical form and interact with humans. Full-blown physicality. There are humans that right now on your Gaia are dragon riders, quite literally riding physical dragons up in the clouds and the skies, and they will not show themselves to the rest of humanity. So you will notice that most of the dragon riders prefer to fly at night where they are not seen, and every once in a while someone will catch a glimpse of a dragon passing in front of the moon or something like this. And we dragons are, let us say, we are only appearing where we are welcomed. And so in many ways humanity humanity at large is only able to work with dragons by seeing their appearances in clouds and more surreal sorts of appearances and fleeting feelings and glimpses. And this is the same with fairies and merfolk and unicorns and just many different beings that, let us say, when their interactions become regular and physical, things can go sideways. This is one of the reasons why your ridge walkers, what you call the Sasquatch, please do not call them Bigfoot. They do not like this. Why they are only make appearances to certain people at certain times. The interactions between these beings and humanity at large are generally negative and do not end well. So let us just say that they are not very, they do not make it a habit of interacting physically with humans. And it is the same with dragons in this period of time, at this moment in your story of this world, that only special humans who are very ready to work with physical dragons are doing so.
Thank you for reading out the questions. It is absolutely my pleasure to be here when we do this. It is really, I turn on the feng shui and the fa chis and all the blessings I've received, and I turn on my heart. And so I just love to share the love and the light from in my own little way here. It's a pleasure to be here.
Dear ones, you do not understand that each of you is bringing an energetic field and presence to this gathering that is precious and important. And your Stephanie is bringing one that is very potent and very important. Dear ones, we might even say that your Jadon Se would not be speaking through your Stephen right now if it were not for Stephanie's presence.
I don't know about that, but thank you for that. I hear and see the truth with you, Jadon Se, and family.
Dear ones, it is more than just hearing and seeing truth. It is feeling. When you are reading some beautiful holy scripture, or when you are listening to a person speak about something that is very inspiring, or when you are having a moment of inspiration of any kind, it is because you feel the vibration of that truth. You feel within your own beingness, your frame, not only your heart and your mind, just your entire beingness begins to sing with the truth of what it is, or the inspiration that is coming through. The more sensitive you get to this, the more that you become a very potent and accurate truth detector, so to speak. When you resonate deeply with something, it becomes your truth. And so it is not just seeing and hearing, though those are important as well.
And just more sharings of the light of the morning is sharing love and blessings to all of creation.
Thank you for this blessing. And each of you are blessing creation with such sentiments and transmissions of beingness. And so this is your Saturday questions for the dragon. We have a Wednesday blessings from the dragon, where many of you can give such blessings in such beautiful ways. It is a wonderful sharing, and thank you for this.
And yeah, this resonates. Thank you. And I believe we're probably ready for shout outs.
Very good. It has been a good gathering, and we thank each one of you for joining us. And this has been a very, let us say, potent gathering as well. Many energies, whether you know this or not, have been moving from you and through you into and from the dragon grid. And this dragon grid is connected with what we call star rivers that are entering and leaving this realm of beingness. So This gathering reverberates through eternity in many ways that you may not be aware of. It is important. The energy that you hold in any given moment of now is important and needed, dear ones. Thank you for this, and thank you for gathering with us in this moment. So let us give out shout outs, and this time your Jadon Se will shout them out. And we will put up our map again so that we can see where upon this world so many of you are. And we have, let us say, North Shore, Lake Erie, Canada. We have Malatya, Turkey, Yakima, Washington, San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. We have Western Cape, South Africa, Tyrol, Austria in the house. We have Utah here. South Africa is here. We have Amsterdam, Netherlands, Switzerland. Der Schweiz is in the house. And we have Colorado. And we have Arizona in the house. Beautiful. London, England is present with us. We have Dracut, Massachusetts. Beautiful energies coming through. Do you feel them, dear ones? These connections that you are all making. North Bend, Oregon. Your Stephanie's mother is in the house. We have love from Turkey. Thank you for this. Magdeburg, Germany. Magdeburg. Not familiar with this place. And this is your Stephen's memories that I am accessing. He has been to Germany several times. Los Angeles is in the house. We have Norway in the house. Beautiful energies. Do you hear this? Do you feel this? Do you sense the others who are present with you right now? Massachusetts has 3 people. Oh, your Aaron Darvish must be going door to door and bringing Jadon Se to people. Do not get cast out like your Hare Krishnas or something like this. Beautiful energies, dear ones. Thank you for joining, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. And those of you in the level 1 working with Dragon Energies class, the February class, we will see you for class number 2 tomorrow. Beautiful energies. And yes, those of you who wish to do the March classes, the sign-ups are open for this as well. Especially those of you who are asking about arcs of consciousness and things like this, realm bridging and timeline shifting and all of this. So thank you for joining us, and we will speak with you soon.